Hello, everyone. My name is Patrick Murdoch. I'm one of the owners of Avenue 912. Thank you for joining us tonight on this beautiful weather day. I know a lot of you like to be outside, but if you are watching live, we appreciate it. If you're not watching live, there will be some ticket giveaways a little bit later, so hopefully you can join us then. But please stay tuned, and then we'll get to that. But in the meantime, before I go on, we have Pat McKillen will be joining us here shortly. He's from the Trippin Billies band, and the Trippin Billies will be playing at our place again for the second time on May 3rd, which is this Friday, starting at 7 o'clock. They are a Dave Matthews cover tribute band, and they're fantastic. If you haven't seen them and you're a Dave Matthews fan, this is your opportunity. It's in your neck of the woods, and because they play all over. They're at the Cleveland. They just got back from Cleveland. They've been at what's the place? House of Blues. Thank you, Joe. Producer Joe was in the house. The House of Blues. They played here in Chicago, and I believe the House of Blues in Cleveland. So these guys are legit. They are a very good band, and if you like Dave Matthews, you will see them for a fraction of what you would see Dave Matthews live. So come on by. Tickets are $15 for general admission, $100 for tables of 4. Then we have Howl at the Moon coming up as well. But before that, I wanted to talk a little bit about last week. Last week we had One Up. One Up was fantastic. They were this was their very first headlining show, and they headlined it at our place, and we couldn't be happier. They kicked ass. It was great. You know, I hope you were there. If you were there, it was fantastic. Automatic Noise opened for them. Really impressed. John Darge, the Sarge, was on drums and was really kicking it. So we appreciate those guys. Local guys, they're doing it right. So if you haven't seen One Up or Automatic Noise, please go see them, even if it's not at our venue. We encourage all of the people that have been to our venue. We want you to go see them at other venues as well. It just helps everybody grow. But again, One Up, really, really good job. And then on Saturday we had Blackened, and if you are a Metallica fan and you were there, you know that it rattled the house. It was a bomber. My ears are still ringing, I believe. So it was a good time. Blackened's always a fan favorite. So we'll have them back in the fall. This week we have Trippin Billies on Friday. Again, 7 p.m. is doors, 8 is when they're going to start. We also have on May the 4th, May the 4th be with you, we have Howl at the Moon. They are returning as well. The last time they were here, it was a blast and sold out. And we had all of our tables out. And it was probably the loudest I have ever heard any of our fans. So if you like to sing and just have a great time and party, Howl at the Moon, the dueling pianos is such a good time. No pressure. If you don't want to sing, you don't have to sing. But you know, they play a ton of tunes that you know and love. And then not this weekend, but not this weekend, but the following weekend, we have Pink Floyd. They return. Echoes of Pompeii, the great Echoes of Pompeii, will be back on May 10th, which is a Friday. Mr. Funnyman, you can't really see there on the little graphic, but Mr. Funnyman will be opening for them as well. That is early start, I believe. I think it's 6 o'clock start. If it's not, take a look at our at our schedule, and I guess I could probably find out right now, huh? 6 p.m. Yep, 6 p.m. is when they're on. And then on the 11th is Mike and Joe. They also return. And Mike and Joe is a great band from Chicago. If you haven't heard them, they play a ton of music that you do know and love. So they are a rock band, and it is a good time. If you know who Aaron Harris is a local guitar player from the area. He's in that band, and now and this is the second time they played at our venue. Oh, we got a couple people saying hello. So, hey, Carrie, thanks for coming. Says Howl at the Moon was a great time. It was a great time the last time. My goodness, it was so many people there that it was crazy. It literally was crazy. But as a matter of fact, there's a picture of Howl at the Moon the last time they were in the. I snuck into the back room and took a picture of this because I wanted to show the crowd. But it was a blast. This time, I believe there's going to be a little bit of room to dance. That was one of the comments that we had. Are like, hey, we want some room to dance. I'm like, yeah, I get it, but we had every table out there. We hardly had any spots to dance. This time, I believe we'll have some room to dance. It is Derby Day as well. May 3rd is the Kentucky Derby. So we are opening the doors a little bit early on that day. We're opening the doors at 5 o'clock. The race, I believe the Kentucky Derby race is at 5:40. Come in your best attire. If you want to wear your hats that is like this big, go ahead. Come on by. Wear your hat. That's that big. After that, the doors, doors open at 5. Races at 5:40. Stick around. We're going to have Howl at the Moon. Howl at the Moon is going to be from 7:30 to 10:30. That is when Howl at the Moon is going to be scheduled. So if you have tickets for Howl at the Moon and don't want to watch the race, it's not a problem. Just come when you want, but just know the doors are going to be open at 5 p.m. All right. And if you haven't noticed, we have a big anniversary coming up. We're 3. Hey, Avenue 912 has made it 3 years. May 4th is we're actually celebrating the entire month of May. Why not? But I believe May 6th, right, Joe? May 6th was our very first day that we opened our doors. So it was Bravo Johnny, and the rest is history. We had a great time. But yeah, so please come by this whole month of May. And as you can tell, we are going to be shutting down operations here pretty soon and switching it to our quinceañeras, our weddings, our private events. So everybody likes to be outside in the summertime. We understand that. That's why we don't book many shows in the summertime. Don't worry, we're not going away. It's just that we're just pausing it and doing other things in the summer. So if you have somebody that you know that's getting married or has a quinceañera or is in need of a place that can hold 100 to 200 to 300 people, give us a call. Give Tony Hobson a call. He will be more than happy to give you the pricing and talk about opening days. Okay. We are going to bring in Pat here. I'm going to welcome Pat to the stage.
Hey there.
I can bring him in here. Pat, how you doing?
How we doing?
I am doing well. And you know what? I think we're going to become instant friends since your name and my name are very, very similar. So we have, oh boy, there we go. Sorry, Pat. I'm novice to this game. Producer Joe is normally the one that takes control of this, but I'm doing it myself. Okay. But yeah, PM. I like it.
Yeah. So what's your middle name if you want to reveal it?
It starts with an L. How about yours?
Mine's an M.
Pretty
close. Yeah. One off.
Mine's, I was named after my grandparent, Lewis.
Great.
Lewis is, so was my grandpa, Patrick Lewis. What is yours, Michael?
Michael, yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Proper
Good Irish name.
Yeah.
All right. So tell us a little bit about yourself, Pat.
So I'm Pat McKillen. I'm born and raised in the northwest suburbs of Chicago. Funny that you just had Blackened this weekend because my first band that I was in was a Metallica, Rage Against the Machine, System of a Down cover band.
Yeah. I would not have guessed that one, bud.
I went a whole nother direction. That was just a couple of my buddies. I was always very good at memorizing lyrics, and that's how they chose me to be the singer of their band because I just knew all the words to a bunch of songs. So they burned me a CD of Metallica songs. But I was always a Dave Matthews Band fan, and that's the reason I started playing guitar because I didn't just want to sing. I didn't know what to do with my hands when I was just singing.
So that's why you played the guitar?
Yeah, so that's when I was 13, I started playing guitar, and then I made the guys in that band start learning a couple Dave Matthews songs, and they were like, this is a little bit of a change of pace. But Dave Matthews Band was the reason I wanted to start performing. I couldn't get enough of it. I couldn't get enough of their live albums, and I used to trade bootlegs back in the day, so that was fun. And so I actually just joined up with the Trippin Billies a couple years ago as they were looking for a new singer. And the best part about it was I didn't have to learn anything. It was already all muscle memory. I couldn't get enough. So back when I was 13 years old, I just learned every Dave song that had been written, and I've done my best to keep up over the years. So We're having a blast.
Trippin Billy's been around for 20 some years, right?
Yep, it started. I used to go see this band. That's the fun thing. When I was in my 20s in the city, I would go out and see them at festivals, because it started as a band on the bar scene, and they would our founder and our manager Bill Denny, he used to his story is that they were kind of just a band that would play whatever the crowds wanted. And with the release of one of Dave's albums back in the 90s, they said, okay, let's do one night where it's just Dave Matthews music. And as he tells it, he says, we went from having, like the normal standard bar crowd kind of chatting through the night to having lines out the door. And, obviously there's been something special with the Dave Matthews Band since their inception. And the Trippin Billies kind of rode that wave, and it's amazing to see all the people and all the joy that people still get out of this music, even 30 years after the inception of Dave Matthews Band and almost 30 years of Trippin Billies.
Yeah, I mean, you guys have been around. Like I said, I know you. That was going to be my question, and thank you for ruining my question. My only question, I knew that you were only you came into the band a couple of years ago, but I didn't realize, and I also realized they were around for 20 years, but I didn't know how you got into because your voice lends itself to Dave Matthews. I mean, when you said you were a Metallica, I'm like, really?
It was those. My parents have funny stories about that, because like I was 13 years old too, trying to sing James Hetfield.
Yeah. Hey, that's okay.
Yeah, I mean, I love that. I mean, S&M is one of my favorite live albums ever too. So anyway, huge Metallica fan, huge Rage fan. But the reason I wanted to perform was Dave Matthews Band. So
yeah, no, that's cool. That's nice. That's a cool story. I also know that you have done a little research, and I know that you have your own original music. Is that correct?
Yeah. I've been a solo singer songwriter and have a little band of my own for the last 10 years, or maybe even a little bit more of that. And put out about 7 or 8 releases now. So I think that's what makes, even in the world of tribute bands and cover bands, I think what can make a band special is that you're sort of a self-starter in terms of being a performer. You have, like we want to play this music the best of our abilities, not just to imitate Dave, but we have pride in performance. And anytime we step on a stage, all the guys in the band have their own solo projects and everything. And this is just something really fun for us to get together and do. And we put a little bit of our own spin onto it, but because you don't want to just be a carbon copy, I would say. So,
right.
We just have a blast with this.
I know that the last time you were played at our place, I think it was February 16th, if I recall correctly. The week before, you were at the House of Blues in Chicago and sold it out. Yeah. That was cool. I saw some of those pictures. I'm like, holy smokes. I don't even know how many that seats, but it's got more capacity than us.
Well, it's like a 1,200, but there's something special about all the venues. And we just played the Cubby Bear on Saturday night here in Chicago, which is just like, there's like the Foo Fighters have played there. Everybody has passed through these great venues. And I think it's like Avenue 912 is sort of that same size as the Cubby Bear. And I think that's a really, really awesome crowd to get to play for, because it's almost like you get the distillate of the bigger Dave fans, like at the House of Blues Chicago. A lot of times it can be, some people are coming along for the ride with their friends, just out to have a good time for the night. But in the smaller venues, you get to connect on a little bit of a deeper level, and you get people who really know what they want to hear that night, and they're happy to tell you about it. And and I'm happy to oblige if we can.
Yeah, we have some great fans. They come ready to have a good time and just to enjoy themselves. It's funny. I was sitting outside at a local establishment here in Crown Point. I live in Crown Point. Mm-hmm. And I was talking to my buddy Joe and my girlfriend Vanessa, and we were just talking. We were outside. It was a beautiful day. And we were talking about your band upcoming on May 3rd. And somebody right at the next table said, hey, they go, do you own that place? And I said, yeah, I own Avenue 912. And they're like, we're going to Trippin Billies. I said, really? I said, that's great. They got 27 people coming to the show. I said 27 people. I
Oh,
said,
no
let
way.
me know. I'll make sure you guys all sit together. So,
Yeah.
so there's supposed to be contact. I mean, yeah. So it was cool. Just out of random, out of nowhere. So
Well,
they're
it's a rabid fan base because, and it's fun for me because that's what I grew out of. So it's a really fun perspective for me, and like this job is a dream job for me because like I said, I used to go see this band. I still go see Dave Matthews Band. I'll see him this summer up at Alpine Valley. It's Dave has a funny quote. He says, we actually don't have that many fans. We just have 35,000 and they come to every show. Which we have some awesome fans. The last time we played at y'all's venue, some of our good friends and fans had driven down from Grand Rapids, Michigan, because we weren't playing up in Michigan soon enough for them, even though we were coming back in a couple months. So, people can't get enough of the music, and our band still has a violin, which Dave Matthews Band no longer has right now. So, we get to really explore the songs the way that people fell in love with them the first time.
Sure.
Which is really special because you can see I have my own personal connection to him, but you can really see when Phil starts playing a violin solo that perfectly mimics the studio recordings or some of the classic live recordings. You can just see people clicking into it like, this is it.
Yeah.
This is why. Yeah.
Yes, definitely. And a lot of swaying. A lot of people love swaying to the Dave shows. That's for sure. It's going to be a really good time. So if you haven't seen them, if you're a newbie and you haven't seen them, this is a perfect opportunity. I mean, you're not going to go see the original Dave Matthews for $15. That's just not happening. You're never going to do that. Come see the next best thing, and it's right in your backyard. I mean, we're right off of 8094 on Klein Avenue. That's hence the name Avenue 912, because Avenue 912 is Klein Avenue, and it's right there. And we got a beautiful venue. It's very safe and a ton of parking. So, all that stuff into one is it's good. And I heard it's supposed to rain, which is even better. Can't go outside. Come on by.
Come on in.
Yeah, it's going to be a good crowd anyways, but I am just promoting a little bit more.
I love it. And I would even say my favorite thing is I'm pretty aware of where Dave Matthews Band lives in pop culture reference. Like, they could be the butt of a joke, because it can be known as a sort of a fratty fan base or something, any which direction they've been taken over the years. But anyone who's seen the real band can never deny the talent and the skill on stage. And I'd love to say the same thing about our band. Our drummer, Kelsey Tarver's incredible. Steve Schnall on the saxophone. He plays every brass woodwind that they make. He's got the flute up there too. Phil on the violin, Mendel on bass. So it's, like I said, everyone's pouring their heart into what we got on stage. And even if you don't love Dave Matthews, I think you'll be surprised at what a tribute band can show on stage. And when people are playing hard, it's hard to deny that. So
no, absolutely. Okay, like I said earlier, that's to start. I'm going to be giving away some tickets, so I'm going to get ready. If you want to win a couple, we're giving away 4 sets of general admission tickets. So if you'd like to win a set of general admission tickets, please send me a text. Please text Billies to 219-680-0682. Please include your name and your email address. I say this, Pat, it's funny. I say this every week, right? I say, please include your name and email address. All I get is the keyword. And it's like, where do I send it? Yeah. So, usually I used to be really nice and say, who is this? Who is this? Now it's just go to the next person. I feel bad, but it's just reality. So it's pretty funny. I just saw one of my text just light up. So that's cool. So that, awesome. I know we're going to get, again, if you're first 4 people, give me a shout, even if you're not watching this live and because it's beautiful outside, text me. You never know. You might have a chat, but you probably won't, but we can try. Pat, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. Anything else that you like to talk to say?
No, I will love to see you guys on Friday. We loved playing there in February. It's a great venue, great space. Come on up and dance. I know people were a little shy at the beginning of the last show, but by the middle of the second song, we had them coming up. So come on up and dance with us, sing loud, and let's have a good time on Friday.
Absolutely, I appreciate it. I'm gonna leave them with just a brief, a very very brief. I think it was a reel that I stole from your Facebook page of you singing Trippin Billies. So I guess 15-20 seconds long. I will let you go, and I'm going to play this. And I say thank you very much, and we'll see you Friday.
Thanks for having us, Patrick.
All right, take care.